Happy Mother's Day, investor friends. I'm Michelle Markey, and today I'm going to be talking about the top 7 ways to help mom achieve financial security. And this Mother's Day, give your mom not only some flowers, but also a plan for her financial well-being. And I love my mom so much because she's given me everything and taught me everything to help me succeed in life. And I owe her the world, and I'm going to do my best to make sure she's financially comfortable as she gets older. And I hope that some of what I talk about today can help you do the same with your mom. Maybe after you've treated your mom to Mother's Day brunch, at some point soon, I encourage you to discuss her financial situation, because the COVID pandemic has taught us that unexpected things can happen in life, and it's taught us that we need to prioritize for retirement, medical expenses, and estate planning. And did you know that your parents invested a lot in raising you? The cost of raising a child from birth to age 17 is estimated to be around $285,000 with factoring in inflation and rising costs. And that means that on average, your parents may have invested in you $17,000 every year for 18 years of your life. And that's like paying each year of college worth for each year that you were a dependent to your parents. So I think that even though we're not supposed to owe our parents too much, I kind of feel like the least we can do is make sure that they're financially secure and know what their options are. Not to mention, the economic value of unpaid family and childcare work is estimated to be 10 to 40% of GDP, where 2/3 of that is assumed by women. So that means our moms are putting in double time effort to take care of us. And that's even in addition to how parents are often paying at least $10,000 a year in childcare costs. And then, did you know that of the 12 million single parent homes, that 80% of those were headed by women? So that's 10 million women who are single moms who are doing their best to get their families going and surviving in the world. So I really want moms to have a better financial future because of some of these sobering stats. Did you know, contrary to what the media would have you believe, that millennials aren't just mooching off their parents, because 1 in 5 millennials are actually financially supporting their parents by giving them $18,000 a year. That's like repaying them for raising us per year, or paying back a year of college every time that these 1 in 5 millennials are helping out their parents. And this is done at a potential financial risk to their own futures, where some of these millennials are delaying marriage, having family and kids, or delaying saving up for retirement and having a home. So this is a serious situation where we want to have financial security not only for our parents, but also ourselves if we're in this position of needing to help out a family member or a parent who's struggling. So what I'm going to talk about are some of the ways to discuss these situations so that hopefully both you and your mom can have a more financially free future. It's a great thing that women are able to live longer, but like Sally Krawcheck, founder of Elvest, said, women are having a retirement crisis. And I've got some bad news and good news about some of the stats that reflect this retirement crisis and why we need to care about trying to make it a better situation for our moms, grandmothers, and other women. And some of these stats include how women's total retirement savings is only on average $23,000 per a Transamerica Center 2019 survey. And this is about 1/3 of what men have, which is around $69,000. And only 12% of women are very confident that they will be able to retire with a comfortable lifestyle. And paying off debt is a financial priority for almost 2/3 of women at 65% of them. And only 49% of women cite saving for retirement as a priority, and few women, or 14%, frequently discuss saving, investing, and planning for retirement with family and close friends. But the good news is, at least, that women are dreaming of an active retirement, including traveling, family and friends, hobbies, volunteering, and working. And 73% of women participate in a 401k, on average contributing 8% median salary typically. So to summarize, like a Kiplinger survey found, women were more likely than men to say that they were struggling financially. And even though women tend to be beneficiaries of a life insurance policy, that doesn't mean that they have security leading up to that point. So it's imperative that we try to help moms prepare for a possible eventuality where maybe they may or may not have a husband, and that may or may not give them the financial security they need. So I'm looking forward to sharing some of what I found about how to help moms, and this is some of what I'm going to do to help my mom if she doesn't already have some of this set up. Among millennials who are supporting their parents, half of them said that they're not comfortable having difficult conversations about their parents' spending and what it means to be giving them money, and whether it's a gift or a loan, and where does that money go. And we can try to avoid some of the resentment or misunderstandings that might happen down the road by trying to have some of these discussions with our moms and dads, and try to help them realize what state they might be in and what action steps they and you can take to help them improve their financial situation. So that's where I'm going to get started with some of the top 7 ways to help out. Number 1, evaluate mom's financial situation. So it's important to discuss what your mom's current status looks like across her savings and retirement accounts, and whether she's still working or if she's already in retirement, and then also evaluating if she has enough money coming in from Social Security benefits and pensions, and if that's enough to help her survive in her lifestyle during retirement, or if she's going to need to work past the time when she officially retires from her original full-time job and needs to do some part-time work in order to make some of the ends meet. So it's important to think about what some of this looks like and what it will look like a few years from now, and as she's getting older, and how there might be some medical expenses that she's going to need to take care of, or if she has a mortgage or still has any loans that she took out to pay for college expenses on your and your siblings' behalf maybe. So help evaluate and identify if your mom still has a sizable mortgage and other loans, how realistic it is for her to be able to pay off those loans on a limited fixed income during her retirement years, especially if she's already 65 and 70, and what is it going to be like when she's still paying off these loans when she's in her 80s and 90s. I'm sure most of us don't want to have to see our mom struggling with this, so it's important to review this now while she's still younger and have a plan in place about how to handle these finances in the future. And then it's also important to talk with your mom about what are her interests, especially as she's facing her retirement years, and help her to find a working balance between being able to thrive during retirement, and if she needs to supplement her current fixed income by working at a part-time job, or maybe if you have kids, she can help out with some childcare so that you can be working. Whatever you and your mom may need to work out, because we got to take care of mom. Number 2, take action as necessary. If your mom is 50 and up, she can start doing catch-up contributions to contribute more to her IRA or 401k retirement investment accounts, and also determine if she has enough money that she's making as she's nearing retirement age, or if she's already in retirement age, and if she may need to pick up a part-time job or even kind of work almost full-time again, depending on how much of a nest egg she still needs to build up, especially if she doesn't have enough retirement savings to last her for the next 20 to 30 years during retirement life. And you can also look at if she needs to still build up an emergency fund for both everyday living expenses and medical expenses, whether they're expected or not. And maybe she can also check out if she's still eligible for a health savings account, if she qualifies in that type of insurance, and if that's the level of insurance that someone would want to have. I mean, it may not be for everyone, so definitely read up on the rules, and I even created a video about HSAs, so definitely give that a look if that's something that might be of interest to either you and or your mom. And then also you can help your mom with maybe downsizing from her house and relocating if she needs help with that, or even if she stays in the same home, maybe you can help out with any home or car maintenance and repairs, and just find ways to help her be on track so that no matter what, her financial future is more secure. Number 3, insurance. Discuss with your mom whether she needs other kinds of insurance aside from healthcare insurance, such as life or long-term care or disability insurance, and whether some of these are currently offered by her company if she's still working, and if they'll continue after her tenure there or if they stop as soon as she's done working there. So does she need to pick up additional coverage during retirement? And then also check to see when she feels it's right to enroll in Medicare, because there could be some effects and maybe someone can't participate in an HSA anymore when they enroll in Medicare. So definitely read up on the rules about the various insurance options that there are out there. And then also check to see if she could be saving on insurance by bundling either car or home insurance with other family members, especially if she's moved in with them. And then also make sure you just do research and shop around for the best options before you or your mom settle on any options. Number 4, a will. Make sure your mom has a will in place to alleviate any probate court battles about mom's property and assets later on in life. And also write down how you and your siblings or other family members will split some of the family heirlooms that may be passed down. And very important is to make sure that the will is professionally set up and executed so that it will be held up in court and that everybody has the right understanding of what's to be expected in splitting up some of the property and assets. And also make sure that the beneficiaries are correctly updated in any savings and retirement accounts, such as if there are new births or deaths in the family. Like I heard when Kobe Bryant passed away, that his latest will didn't include his last daughter in it yet because she was only 1 year old. So because she wasn't included in his will, that ended up probably leading to some difficult situations in order to reconcile so that that last daughter could also benefit from some of Kobe Bryant's estate. So make sure that beneficiaries are correctly updated in the will and also across things like retirement and savings accounts and other assets that your mom may have. One last note about a will. If your mom has children that are not yet of legal age, it's important that there are formal guardianships arranged in the will to make sure that if your mom were to sadly pass away earlier than the child would reach legal age, that you know who would take care of the child and it's not just left up to the court system to decide who will take care of the child. And this can also apply to you too. If you're a young mother, it's important for you to write out in a will about how you want your family to be taken care of if you were to sadly pass away. So hopefully that were to not happen, and hopefully everybody will get to live a very long and happy life. Number 5, end of life preparation. As difficult as this topic is to discuss with your mom, it's important that you have this plan in place so that you're prepared no matter what happens towards the end of your mom's life. And this can include discussing topics like, does your mom plan to age at home or live with you or in a nursing home? And it's important, depending on how she wants to live her life, if there's a medical situation that arises, to what extent she may want to be kept alive by completing what's called physician orders for life-sustaining treatment. So there's a certain form that can be completed depending on what she would want her medical wishes to be in that regard. And then also talking about some of the logistics when it comes at the time of her death, if she wants to be buried in a casket at a certain graveyard or cremated, and where her ashes will be kept. And these are all very difficult subjects to discuss, but it's imperative so that you and your family members are not having to deal with extra stress at this very sad time in life. And hopefully everything will work out by talking about it ahead of time so you and your mom are prepared. Number 6, help your parents navigate changing technologies. And where this comes into play is if your parents need to file their taxes and they've always done things with their accountant, but maybe they can save some money by filing their taxes with online tax software. So maybe you can help them out with some of that, as well as helping them figure out what they're eligible for in terms of Social Security benefits and other kinds of pension-related matters, which may be happening online, and there are websites that they need to complete a bunch of information in. And all of this, you can be tremendously helpful to often baby boomer parents who are maybe struggling a little bit and their eyesight's going bad, and you can be the child of your mom who helps get them through the difficulties of technology. And also, while you're helping your mom deal with tax stuff and forms, you can also learn about what are the gifting laws that apply in your state or based on federal laws, about what it means if during the course of the estate disbursement that you may or your siblings and other family members may receive some of the assets, and then what tax obligations there may be. So this can help you plan ahead about how you will deal with some of the tax responsibilities that may be involved when your parents are gifting you certain items and assets. So it can really be mutually beneficial to both you and your mom to work on this stuff together. Number 7, be mindful about the financial commitments you make on behalf of your mom. And because you have your own life and your own monetary obligations, you have to think carefully about whether you can afford to co-sign a loan for your mom or add your name to her property deeds or be the guarantor on her medical bills, and what that might mean for you and your own family if you're also required to cover some of your mom or dad's debt obligations as a result of some of these types of things that you may be committing to. And it's important that you and your mom discuss some of the ground rules about what's expected and how much you are willing to financially commit, and if you expect her to pay you back or not expect her to pay you back. Either way, it's important to clearly communicate and write down the understanding, because it's easy to have a verbal discussion about something and then later on someone might have selective memory and then decide that things are different than how they really are. So just be careful about what you decide to commit to, and also be aware of how 30 states have what's called filial responsibility laws, where you could be on the hook depending on what some of the bills or debts your parents have. So definitely check and make sure you know and follow the rules in your state. Doing these things are the least we can do for mom, because she's given us her all in raising us and teaching us good values and being good citizens who help out in the community. And our moms deserve the world, and we owe it to them to make sure they're financially secure. And if you enjoyed this video or learned something, please like and subscribe, because it greatly helps out my YouTube channel. It shows that you're engaged in this content and that it's helpful to you and I should make more of it. And I really wish you and your mom a very happy Mother's Day, and I wish you well on your journey towards financial security and freedom. Till next time.